Hello, everyone. Welcome to Getting Down with Dave C. and my trusty TV show host, companion, YouTube, whatever what you want to call it, social media co-host, JT Kirk.
Hell, here we go. Where's the money?
Where's the money, JT? Where's the money?
I think we know where it is. I think we know where it went.
Things are going to start getting ripe around here. I can tell you that. But welcome to the show, everybody, because we have a comic to do. And
we do.
Last week wasn't very good, was it? Is my memory failing me?
No, it was not. I gave it the tentative BG 14 award, which, for those of you that don't know, Battlestar Galactica issue number 14 was the worst of that run and an insult to the reader. And I hope that we don't have any other contenders for that award.
I could have been a contender.
Yeah, no, we don't actually have that many more issues left. I think by August we'll be done.
Yeah, there's 9/10. We're going to figure that 10th one out when we get to the end, because we had people in the chat a couple weeks ago tell us there is a 10th one, but it's not directly related or something. Whatever.
Judging by what they did to T'Challa last time, we might just say F it.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious as to what you're going to do to this one this week, because the premise is very interesting. And let me go ahead and add it to stage. Let me do my thing real quick here, right? I got to do my little thing. And once I do this, I can't use StreamYard. Just let everybody know. So, JT, you're kind of in charge of StreamYard now. Is it scrolling?
Oh, yeah. It is scrolling.
Okay. Let's see what the YouTube side is going on.
It is scrolling on that side as well.
And I got my little thing taken care of as well. Okay. Yeah. So at the top banner there, what an interesting little take. I thought, anyway.
Yeah.
Look what it says. Now I'm like,
Sherlock follows closely the Joker. So I don't think we can say that word in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave it at there. It's an S word for meaning following very closely, like a predator.
Yes. Good job. Let's get on a timer for 10 minutes. Then with Buddy Hepburn.
Hey, buddy. And hey, Tim as well. FKHC 2005.
Yes. I think Tim's here somewhere. I think we got 2 people watching. Yeah. So, Buddy, I wonder, and everybody else as well, this is going to be, so I was very interested when I saw this. I was like, this is kind of cool. Sherlock Holmes, is it going to be like time traveling? What are they going to do with this? And we see a little bit of art that we talked about last week. Sherlock looks pretty good here. Joker's face looks a little weird.
The idea that Sherlock would be going after the Joker and maybe actually getting Joker on the back foot for once, would be an interesting concept. This Joker is pretty much in control every single time we read, right? Even if he kind of gives them a little bit, he pretty much just does what he wants and carries out his plan.
Well, he's always...
he might have to evade and run. Interesting.
Yes, and he's always got like a backup plan, whether they meant to do it, because they can always... The thing about we talked about before was this is an interesting character to write for, because when we talked about BSG, once they got past the first couple of issues, you could do anything. The whole gamut of writing out in space is open to you. The Joker is kind of like that as well. You can make stuff up on the fly and just say, well, it's just the Joker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm feeling and throwing out there.
So real quick, back on the cover, sir. Mr. Dave.
Scroll back up.
You could scroll back up just a wee bit. Who has trapped whom? I love the grammar there. So +1 already.
Sweet grammar. Okay.
Yes.
Grammar police. And they do the pinstripes on the pants. So continuity.
I'm one of those 1930s grammar folks, you know. So
whom is that?
You can't say it. You can't say it.
No, you can't say it.
Buddy, I'm pretty sure pieced that one together after we watched Patterns of Force on Teagues.
Oh.
The other night.
And I fell asleep. I was so out of it. I tried to come by. I gave it a like and I was out. How did that go?
Well, went pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. We got 3.5 hours in. I tell you what, that was and we ended with like 25 people watching concurrent. It was a party. It was good. So happy birthday to Admiral Teague.
Oh, I didn't know it was his birthday.
Last week. Yep.
Did I miss? I missed that. Did I miss that? Happy birthday, Teague. Shit. Sorry.
Yeah. No, totally. You're good. All good. All good.
All right. Well, so we get a lot of box wording here.
Yeah.
Just talking about Sherlock Holmes here. The circumstances are bizarre. The pursuit absurd. So you mentioned pursuit, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so I will segue that into what I try to remember to ask you every week is, have you read this yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
However, I am already thinking this is not meant for children because it says zany as it is grim. Antics are deadly and involves the Harlequin of hate.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoiler alert.
So Alexander Ocasio-Cortez is in this, apparently.
Who?
The Harlequin of hate.
Well, see, okay. I'm not going to spoil this. Just remember what I said to you before we came on air.
Mm-hmm.
Very curious as how
who did this one this week?
There's a lot of setup here, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's only going to go one of two ways. It's a total ruse, or they come through. Nah. Same Japan.
Danny O'Neill. With Irv Novick, Tex Blaisdell. Wasn't he one of the ones on the bad issue?
Not sure, but if that face art is going to be the same as the cover, we'll know shortly. But there is a little funny thing here.
Yeah.
Joker they drew in a little banana peel.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny.
And it's edited by the man who has a Schwartz as big as mine.
Yeah, so we still have the same editor for a while here. And they want to make sure, and I did want to point this out because this is extremely prevalent throughout the whole issue. Just get ready. Do you remember how they used to do the double entendres and the tie-in quips?
Yes.
And the one, yeah. Okay, so get
and they dedicated to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which is nice.
Nice.
We'll see if they actually have a nice homage.
They do.
Okay.
Well, you can decide if it's nice or not, but the effort is there. That's obviously you can tell with my very bad hinting. The whole thing is about the hint. That's it.
Okay.
So, and right off the bat, there's a marquee with this guy, and I'm going to point it out. Clive Sigerson. This is a play, not a movie. If you know, if you're actually reading this, it's a theater, but not theater. R-E. Right? I never knew that one. Which way is it? It's the proper way to say it. In a medium-sized.
This is a stage play.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a stage play.
Let's see. The touring company of the renowned melodrama is rehearsing. So they're not performing right now. They're just rehearsing.
Yes.
And Clive Sigerson is playing, I was going to say Indiana Jones. He's playing Sherlock Holmes, ladies and gentlemen.
Correct.
And Professor Moriarty. So any moment now, I'm expecting to see Geordie LaForge and Lieutenant Commander Data pop in on the holodeck here.
And what episode is that?
Oh gosh, there's multiple. There's multiple of those.
Oh, wow.
Elementary, My Dear Data, I think might have been the first one.
Oh, how clever.
Yeah. Yeah. So my Star Trek is already getting turned to interested here, if we may.
Yeah, and it must be in Act 2, because they say so in the background here. Give us some detail art, kind of.
Yeah.
they at least they put stuff in the back and until you get here, and then it's just a yellow, nothing. So it's kind of like, huh, okay. No, so this is like you said, it's a rehearsrsal. Or just practicing.
Yes. And Moriarty is going to be the Joker. I'm already calling it.
How can you tell?
The skinny, lithe build, and then the long arms. And then by the time I look in the middle, you sure, old sleuth? Outrageous. How dare you depart from the script? Bang.
Yeah. So, yeah, you called it. It's the Joker. And you're like, what the heck? What's going on here?
Oh, I like this. I thought I'd punch it up. Get it? Okay, then. Yeah. I like it. It's a bad joke, but I like it.
It fits. So far, it fits. These kind of this style of persona of the Joker, it fits. And it's kind of the MO, and they're pretty much sticking to it with this kind of humor, slapstick humor. But yeah, he socks this dude, pow, knocks him on his ass. And you're a detecting dud here. He doesn't call him Sherlock. That's like twice. He just calls him Sure. Sure. You had to be there, I guess.
You're detecting dud, sure. Didn't you deduce that beneath the grease paint was a mask? Beneath the mask, a Joker?
Yeah. So this guy's what? Moriarty's Joker? What? What's going on? And then I guess some stagehands are running out. And Joker's
who would have been awesome if it was our dynamic duo.
Yes, if it would have been our boys from the past.
It would have been such a great motif at this point, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would have been excellent. It would have been awesome that they kept those two guys because they weren't major roles. They just show up as security guards damn near every issue. Small bit roles. That's all it had to do. And here come the Lippy Flows, and they're like, here comes Marv and whatever. Benny and Marv. I think that was sort of their names. Hilarious. It reminds me of Cowboy Bebop with the three old dudes that JT, and since I know you haven't seen it, at least I think you haven't seen it.
I have not.
They don't recur these roles all the time, but they show up in a bunch of times. These old dudes, they're like sitting out at a cafe, and there's a big fight between.
Cartoons always have recurring characters.
Yeah, and they're really funny, cool old dudes, sit kind of hanging around type of. So Marv and Benny would have been excellent here.
So I wanted to point real quick to if you go up just a wee bit to the bottom two cells on that 2 panes, look what the actor is saying. Moriarty is the Joker. The Joker is Moriarty. Then scroll down. Or Moriarty is the Joker.
He's completely delusional after getting punched in the head. he doesn't know where he is at this point. He's kind of like they should draw like little bubbles over his head. Right, or little question marks over his head.
Then
what is it? Looney Tunes. They do the little birds. Isn't that what it, buddy? Everybody?
Yeah, or birds or stars.
Little birds and stars flying around. Oh, Looney Tunes was the best, man. All those old school stuff. And so now he's got nicknames for his henchmen. Blue Eyes and Southpaw.
Okay.
And he says to Kosh, the foolish fellows. So that's an old school term. I've never heard of that one. I've never come across that in any old school lingo or Kosh. So that's a new one for me.
So a Kosh is British slang for a blackjack, a bludgeon, a stick, bar, or other blunt stick weapon. Also meaning as a verb in the British lexicon to strike or assault is with a club or a kosh. Yeah. So
there you go.
He wants them clubbed, I guess.
Yeah, and they get a good fist fight. The henchmen come in, start throwing down, and the Joker.
And they said kosh because it's a Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, because it's
way of saying, fry him. kind of thing, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of funny that he's using British terms.
Yes. Yes.
And so then he grabs one of the most iconic Sherlock Holmes items, the pipe.
Ah.
But he doesn't really try to steal it. He just bashes him over the head with it.
Yeah, bonk.
Bonk.
Don't let it go to your head.
Yeah. That was kind of funny. Don't let it go to your head.
Oh, that would be something that they would say in a theater where people are like groaning, like, why did I pay money to go see this? And it would just be me cracking up laughing in like the 20th row back, just all by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like the audience for Ironheart.
Oh, wait.
But
there was one?
Yeah, and there's a few.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
Oh,
anywho.
All right.
So yeah, he cracks old what's his name? Clive something? Clive, the actor's name.
Yeah.
So he got punched really hard, and then he got bonked with those aren't just some little pipes. Those are some hardcore serious pipes, man.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't get it.
He's gonna have a goose
over
egg.
the head.
Yeah, for sure, a goose egg.
It's gonna do some damage.
This is hilarious to me. Too bad the superb scene is played to an empty house, and then they start dancing, can off. There's no business like show
and then another cartoon reference. Exit stage left.
Stage right.
Remember, is it for well, for them it would have been.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a cartoon guy. I can't remember that cartoon character. Stage left or stage right. Is that what it was? I can't remember. Well, anyway, the police show up because, I'll scroll back up. Joker has something in his hand. So he's actually there for a reason. He's stealing something. And he's after some artwork again.
Yep.
That's kind of his thing. He likes gold and art. And the police show up. They're doing it. Oh, and those are fish tanks. Are those fish bowls or just lamps? Just a lamp, I guess. But they think nothing is stolen at first. And this guy's like, oh, it could never happen here. It's scandalous.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it's at a small town outside of Gotham for a couple hours away. Probably not a high crime.
Theater manager is supposed to meant to be a little light in the loafers.
I think so.
The way they have him written and kind of doing his thing.
Yeah, I would guess so. They got the hairstyle down in the 70s. They rocking it. He's not wearing a turtleneck though, but he's got the big ass tie.
Oh, and hail both to Phantom Outsider and Deadman Walking number 55 that both just walked in.
Very nice, very nice. What's going on? We're doing Sherlock Holmes tonight, apparently.
Gentlemen, the Joker dressed as Moriarty and proceeded to abscond with a piece of artwork and hit Lieutenant Commander Data over the head with his own pipe. So here we are. The real police went to the play, the Civic Theater, and they're trying to figure out, the details of the crime, the incident. And here we are with the theater manager saying, oh, this would never happen in my theater, the Bohemia. Scandalous. I can't say it as super as maybe Dave can, but, I'll leave that one up to you, Dave, if you want to try. I'm all good. Are you good?
Well, I was just going to say for everybody to come in, this isn't actually Sherlock Holmes for everybody who just walked in. This is the Joker just stole something from the play. There's a play going on. This guy's just an actor. And but all of a sudden he does figure out. So no, I'm not going to tackle that one. I'll just move on.
So originally, you're right. They think they didn't steal anything, but you and I are wise to the ways of this comic, and they will just slyly put something in the Joker's hand and not talk about it till later. And that's in fact what they do. The Sherlock Holmes actor notices that the mantelpiece a piece of artwork, a framed picture of Fran from Carfax has been stolen. Now, I don't know if Fran will give you your Carfax report or not, but
Carfax
Fran Carfax, yeah.
Are we going to get a Dracula theme in here?
I think the Joker just wanted his Carfax on the Joker mobile.
Yeah. Then the Clive, that's the actor's name. His name is Clive Sagerson or something like that. He's like, the game is afoot. And the cop's like, he's talking kind of crazy here. And then, so they just write in the fact that we were kind of correct that he got bopped on the head too many times.
Yep. And so now he thinks he is Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, they're just going to straight up tell us that that's what's going on now. So we don't have to guess. So there you go. He actually believes he's Sherlock Holmes now.
He says, elementary, Jordy. The game is afoot.
The game's afoot.
And then the real cop's like, he's talking crazy, ain't he? Yeah.
The world's second greatest detective. Yes, Phantom. Definitely. Definitely. And so even the cops is like, well, he doesn't look too good. You're going to let him walk around like that?
So they send this stagehand dude after him.
Yeah, you got to hand it to him that the police officer here was like, maybe somebody should go like talk to the guy or help him out or something. I gotta report the file here.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he didn't say it's on me. He's like, how about somebody else do this?
Yeah. So they send one of the stagehands out there.
Hail the DJ Play Nice and hail the Lady V. Sorry to cut you off, Dave.
No. That's always good. Somebody in the chat let me know because I can't. I have to look over.
Yes. We've got a good group here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in. Hope you're having a good time with us.
Yes. And DJ Play Nice, let me ask you something real quick while you're in the chat. Do you have another account where you don't have dots? It's DJ, no dots? Because somebody was... anyway, I got a little confused the other day.
Lady V has a power outage and is trying to conserve battery, so...
Ooh. Well, thanks for stopping in. I forgot.
Turn the brightness all the way down, and good luck.
Storm coming. Yeah, if I disappear here, it's probably from the weather down here as well. I forgot to kind of mention that, and I don't want to jinx myself now, but just in case. So guess what the guy's name is?
Oh, of course. It's as cringe as it could be. I've heard you called Watson.
Lady V's flicking the bean. Look away, Lady V.
And I perceive you were a sailor. I used to work on the docks. In fact, my nickname is Elementary Doc Watson. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So okay. Well, we kind of figured if he's gonna get a partner, his name has to be Watson, Doc Watson, right? Well, you already nailed it,
right?
So they're just playing along with it. Okay. Well, we're back at the Hacienda, which you love.
My favorite villain hangout pad. Yes.
Oh, yeah. They're playing a little b-ball here. And there's your turtleneck. Old Blondie's rocking that turtleneck.
Yep. Like the last caper was interesting, but the point Joker, this photo isn't exactly key to the mint.
Good night, Lady V. Thank you. For stopping in. Definitely, we appreciate that. So look what Blondie's doing here. You don't see that. Do you see that very often in new comics?
What?
Look at Blondie right here in the middle. He's holding this picture. Oh, okay. So what's going on is Blondie has pointed out.
He's smoking. You don't see that a lot in modern comics.
Yeah, he's smoking. There's a Joker ashtray. Look at this this poker hand is pretty damn nice. Ace. King, holy shit! Whatever else he's got, that's another face card.
Yeah,
looks like a royal flush there working. Anywho, so Blondie's name apparently is Southpaw, and I forget what the other guy's name is.
Blue Eyes.
And I don't know what the third guy's name is. They didn't mention a third.
Probably something we might not be able to say because it was the 70s. But we'll see.
Yeah. The so Southpaw's like, what's the point of taking this picture, dude? And of course, we're going to get a crazy answer. It's the Joker.
Well, yeah, he has a burning need to humiliate, harass, humble, and put egg on the face of all detectives. So it's a moral thing more than it is, or like an obsession more than it is just a desire to be wealthy.
Yeah, or run with scissors. No, I can't. How do you spell scissors?
SCISSORS.
SORS. Two S's.
Yes.
Four S's.
Skizzers.
Scissors. SIC. What? How do you spell scissors?
SCISSORS.
Oh shit! I had it right the first time. See, I should have just typed it and then just blamed autocorrect or something. I don't know. Yeah, so Joker's just kind of going off on, I don't really care. I'm freaking crazy. I just do things like this for the comics, And I just, so the premise here, he's setting it up. That's why I wanted to focus on this part right here. I shall recreate the cases. So that's his scheme now for the comic, for this issue. He wants to go out, and remember, this is all an homage to Conan Doyle. Sir Edward Conan Doyle. My bad. And look, we get Batman.
I didn't know he'd have Batman basketball. That's actually pretty nice. I want one of those. That's cool.
Yeah.
So in his versions, the criminal is always going to win. So Southpaw can dig it and hands the Joker the complete works of Sherlock Holmes or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And crime will be triumphant. I wonder how.
The way they write it, because now it gets a little weird. At least I think so. It's been pretty good so far, right, JT?
Yes.
You've liked it so far, I think.
So far.
Yeah, they have some funny jokes, and
the Red Circle golf course.
Evil. It hasn't been as evil as some of the things we've seen before. Not yet, anyway.
No one's been thrown into the building incinerator.
Yeah, not yet. Alive.
Yes. Yeah.
Which we saw in Black Panther, where they did that to like a bunch of people.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, that was a microwave of sorts. Anyway, let's see. Early the following morning at the Red Circle golf course, they are on some kind of weird, like, not a Zamboni, but kind of looks like a Zamboni because it's not a golf cart.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's
whatever.
Cart. Yeah. And to ask DJ Play Nice, because I did ask him a question. Yeah, man, I don't know what's up with that. I'm 99.99% sure on a stream the other night, there was somebody that I said hello to that said DJ Play Nice with no dots, just DJ. Because I was typing it in D dot and it wasn't working. I was like, what the heck?
Interesting.
So I thought maybe you had changed I've changed my name here a couple of times, and I'm gonna do another one soon. If I can come up with something funny. Cat Turd took my one I wanted.
Wow. Also, Phantom Outsider says, this car looks like it escaped from a roller coaster.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
pretty much.
That's a crazy golf cart.
So they're racing down the fairway, and the stagehand's like, "Wait, what are we doing here?"
But look at this golf course for just a second. That's a big hill they're going down. Look at this thing. That is one crazy hell of it. At least this hole right here.
That's a tough course.
Terribly hard.
Get a plateau green on the other side of some water,
and look
coming down a hill off of this is probably a par 5.
And look at the sand traps there. The trees.
Oh, yeah.
And the trees everywhere. There's trees. The bushes line up on the other side of the lake.
Yeah. Don't hit that thing short.
But I had to hook it to the right there a little bit and just lay up.
I also want to point out
and
that look at Mr. Watson. Why does he still try to pretend to have hair?
I don't know, dude. He's just swinging that. Because he's driving a 1980 Camaro IROC Z with T-tops, and he's jamming Billy Squire's stroke.
Also,
But he's
the
got to have
steering
a
wheel's
mullet.
on the wrong side as well.
You gotta have a mullet if you're gonna do that. That was one of my wishes.
They're supposed to be in the U.S., but the steering wheel's on the right, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
There are not J.B. Wilson, president of the newly formed Air Hockey League.
Okay, so I tried to warn you a little bit here. You've liked it so far.
What the?
Okay. So it gets a little weird. They start talking about this guy on the golf course who they've never met. We don't know who he is, but look what he says. You got me pegged, fella. So they know who the guy is. I don't know how. I guess they just recognize.
Well, he's the president of the newly formed Air Hockey League.
The Air Hockey League. And his name is JB Red. Okay. And he says, I'm in the middle of a tricky shot here, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least let him play through. Come on. What the hell are you doing?
Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing on the golf course? So I got to biff the ball past the water hazard. Biff, I guess that's a slang for some golf.
None that I've ever heard, but okay.
Yeah. I got to biff the ball. Oh, the ball past the water. There wasn't a lot of space there. I read it too fast.
Ball past the water hazard too. The water hazard. Yes, indubitably. Right. Bully.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how he's talking at that point.
Yeah. Southpaw, and I guess that's Blue Eyes. I don't know. I don't know who the other guys. Which one?
Yeah, they didn't name him.
And they're just happen to be in their full clothes. They're snorkeling in their clothes.
Why are they? That's going to be some nasty ass water, by the way.
You wouldn't be doing that in Florida. I'm going to tell you that much. Yeah. I told you what happened right here in my little ass apartment complex, right?
Well, yeah. And for those who don't golf, whether you're in Florida with the Gators or not, that kind of water is usually very overly algaed with because of the runoff from the golf course fertilizers, and it will usually be the place for a lot of leeches and turtles and water-based snakes, no matter where you are. So I would not be in that water.
You don't go any waterway around here. Period.
No, you don't.
Ever. Yourself or your kid, your dog, any of it. You just don't do it down here, man. And Hail Classic Comics popped in, and they both Classics and Phantom have an insight to our air hockey dilemma. And DJ Play Nice did say Google has combined our details. That's so weird, dude. That's crazy. Anyway, I like to talk to you about that some other time. That's kind of an interesting thing. So Classic says that back in the 70s, there probably was a real air hockey league. And I'm thinking, you're right. And then Phantom, boom. Yep. We had an arcade pool hall. And I love that little air hockey, right? JT, do you remember that game? I know you're.
I've had an air hockey table before.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you know what it is.
Yeah.
So, but we used to play it when I was younger, right? Yeah. Everybody knows I'm 55.
Sure.
So,
sure.
I played Galaga, the real original Galaga. So, and it had 2 air hockey tables and a league sign up in the mid 70s. There you go. Yeah, I could have I was probably still young, in the mid 70s, I was not even 10. So, and then foosball as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. It's so cool. And by the way, I got a couple of subscribers. I forgot to write their names down, but thank you. A couple of subscribers this week.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. My dummy self didn't write the names down, but thank you anyway. Okay. So we're getting off the rails here a little bit.
They're getting out of the water.
Not
us, proceed on.
Yeah, they're in their clothes. And not only they're snorkeling, they must have been there for a while. The dude's got tanks. So they're not snorkeling. They're
scuba diving.
Scuba diving.
Okay. Why? Okay, I'm not going to ask that. We're just going to slow down asking these questions.
Yeah, we'll get
quickly, Watson. They have to subdue them, so they're going to go after these guys that are just getting out of a swamp water, basically. And then this third henchman is named.
Yes.
Check the action, Tooth.
Tooth. I get it now. His name is Tooth. Good job, JT. I missed that earlier when I read this.
Yeah. So then,
still trying to get over the whole sitting in the pond thing, like you are right now, trying to figure it out. Dad man's leaving. Hey, thanks for coming, man.
See you, Dad man. Take care.
Have a good one. All right, if you're streaming later, have a good stream, right? Everybody, after we're done here. I think
yeah. Well, maybe we'll see. He just streamed with the missus.
Oh,
so if you haven't ever checked her out, go to the Mrs. Dadman Walking channel and give her a like and a follow. So let's see. I don't know. I was going to say Marcus of Queensberry rules, right?
Well, yeah. Look in the background. It's kind of funny because old Doc is getting ready to fight Tooth here in the background, and they were nice enough to draw that in for us. The golfing guy, Red, is just standing here going, what it's going on? He's like, what the hell are these people? Who are these jackasses? And so Sherlock, I don't know if they got some of the moves from the Robert Downey Sherlock movies, these boxing, you know how he would do, and then he would tell you, I'm going to kick your ass. I kind of know what I'm doing here. Well, look at this. He does this here. I warn you. I'm warning you, bub. I got some skill. Southpaw,
little Marcus of Queensberry, like they're going to have about a fisticuffs.
Yeah, about a fisticuffs. And of course, Southpaw, he doesn't care. He's up for throwing down.
Well, and he takes a massive right swing.
Wolf. He's totally. And they actually write it in. Swish. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that the first time. This is why I like reading it and then doing this review. Of course, we love all our motion angles and the art, the swish itself, but they actually wrote it in.
He swung without rotating his hips, so even if he had hit him, it wouldn't have been very hard.
Dude, that would have been easy when the dodge. You just lean back, and that's what he did. He just leaned back, and it's kind of like, you're untrained thug. Called him a thug.
Get him with a left hook. Right to the jaw.
Look at that. Good one too, apparently. Good left hook there. And he's holding that pipe the whole time while he's talking shit.
And then of
course, we love it when they talk shit to each other. Right?
Yeah, with a pipe. Fighting with a pipe in your mouth. Okay.
I mean, it's Sherlock Holmes. Clive.
And then another deft left to disorient you.
So he gave him a double up.
A 1-2. Yeah, the old 1-2.
And then the uppercut. Oof, dude. Caught him good here, man. Look at that uppercut. Pow!
Then as soon as he knocks him over, he's like, I got to get my nicotine in. I do enjoy a bit of exercise. Right into the tobacco.
Yeah. So we've got smoking here several times before like page 8. And look at old Doc getting some in. Watson.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, Tooth and Southpaw are getting their ass kicked by, well, okay. So Doc is a tough dude, though. He's not some kind of wuss kind of guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to bar brawl with this dude. Or, you know what I mean? Doc, this Watson guy, and he tells, did I miss it? Or did he say he actually... No, the lead up to his name was the fact that he actually worked on the dock. Tommy used to work on the docks.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Yeah, so he's not a wuss. But this other guy is a stage actor, but he thinks he's Sherlock Holmes. So he can fight like now.
Well, you never know.
Oh,
he used technique. He used form and technique over raw power. Yes. There you go.
Buddy says Sherlock was a very good trained actor. Yeah, boxer. yeah, he was. That's why they put it in the movies as well. The Downey ones, and also if he didn't use his hips, he wasn't even stepping forward. Yeah. So Southpaw, even though he's kind of a tough kind of guy, but he's not a good fighter apparently. Not to somebody who's trained. And old Tooth got his ass kicked because he came up with a guy who's just tougher than he is.
Right. And
like,
so, yep, go for it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you were moving on. So I was going to say, the Joker takes an iron here and makes good contact with a ball and has impeccable aim. I will say, do not try that at home. That will delete someone.
Yeah. I thought when I saw this, I thought, oh, okay. I was kind of leaning that way, JT, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen it yet. You remember the setup on the splash page?
Yes.
The big setup about Harley Quinn, how grim this was. I think the word evil was even mentioned earlier.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Grim and evil.
Ball joke. Phantom, I was trying to come up something, but it hit him in so I was waiting for the chat or JT to come up with a balls joke.
I was trying to keep it on the level.
I don't
care.
You go for it. I mean, we were flicking beans with Lady V earlier.
Well.
Yeah. So
I'll leave that one to you.
It was in the chat.
I know. So Watson was felled by a dastardly attack.
Dude, that's gotta hurt bad. And I've seen this happen on the golf course. I've only golfed maybe once or twice in the last 10 years, at least 20 years, maybe. And I went out with some people down here, and the guy in the woods was laid out. His buddy came running up. He was like, oh, he got nailed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he was in the woods part, and he still got nailed. So
yeah.
I didn't do it.
That's why you don't hit with people in front of you. You just wait.
Well, they came off so that woods, they were on the other fairway area. Say they were on a whole different holes on the other side. They were looking for their ball, and apparently somebody had hit, I don't know, and clunked him, dude. Clunked him. And he's like, oh, who did that? And I was like, I'm looking for my ball. And I actually found it. I was like, it's over here, dude. Way over here. You're like way over there. It wasn't me. His buddy threw him in the cart and they drove off. I think he took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So Sherlock takes it upon himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go after the Joker. And then the Joker says, may I borrow your 4-iron? Or who is saying that? Okay, it's just poorly drawn. Sherlock is saying, may I borrow your 4-iron, Wilson?
Yeah, I guess the guy's name is Red
this
Wilson.
Guy. Yeah. Sure. Hey, this is the darndest thing.
Wilson! Sorry.
Surrender or prepare to duel. Okay, so they're going to go in for a duel with golf clubs, which is silly, but okay.
Yeah, I warned you it was going to go off the rails a little bit here. I mean, it just depends on your humor, and this is our number 6, so we're used to this. But even for I guess we're a little bit amazed each time they still pull it off each week with the silliness that they are going to duel with golf clubs, like you just said. I challenge you to a duel. Much on God. They actually do it.
Well, Joker's like, what the hell is this? This is so messed up. Why not?
Even Joker's like, what the? Yeah, good catch.
And then Sherlock Holmes, of course, wins. He says, as you perceive, I made no idle boast. You are easily disarmed.
Yeah, after he talks crap to him again. I had to warn you, I'm pretty good as a fencer. See what I mean about earlier when I was telling you? They could just keep on doing the same thing. And this dude, Red, is just still standing there going, and he's just watching. He's like, what? The craziest day. Darndest thing.
So then he said, I love this line. Save us both the dignity of an unseemly chase and throw yourself on my mercy.
Well, what do we always say about the Joker, though? He's kind of like our old friend, Mr. Little.
Remember Mr. Little? A little bit.
Friend of the channel.
So
you remember Mr. Little? We missed.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Little.
All right. He's always ready, though. So here we go.
And the Joker runs to his bag. Of course, there's probably some gas or acid or something about ready to come out of this bag.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be gas, or the driver was going to come out and hit him, and he was going to make a joke about, a golf joke.
Yeah.
So that's what I was prepared for. Say, oh, here comes a good golf joke off the tee or something. I teed off on your head or something.
Okay, so
we're close.
Is there something fishy about you? So I'm going to net you.
Does hurt. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JT. I was talking to the chat. My bad.
Yeah. So he launches this net out of the bag, and on the ends of the net to weigh it are all the golf clubs. So kind of actually cool, because it's going to confuse your mind trying to figure out how to dodge all the golf clubs, right?
Yeah. I thought I was a little disappointed. He didn't they made a fishing joke and not a golf joke. I'm like, oh, what? So I was a little
maybe.
I was a little confused. Or something is fishy. So that in the animated shows, he uses a fish. Or maybe you don't know this. But if you've watched Brave and the Bold, he uses one of his weapons is a fish.
Okay.
And there's actually one there's a couple fish that when they get gas, they have the clown face.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep forgetting this is like 50 years old. How old is this? 40 something years? 75?
That's 50.
That's 50 exactly. Yeah, Jaws is 50.
Yep.
So he hits him with the net. Very good observation about the clubs, by the way. It's very smart.
So, why, thank you. And so he tells Wilson to run for his life, and Wilson's like, why? I'm enjoying watching this shit. Like, this is the best day on the golf course I've had in years.
Yeah, it's like nobody's done a damn thing to me. I'm just standing here, man. You guys can do what you Lynn, look, old Doc. He's out of it back here. That was funny, and I thought that was kind of funny because they remembered to go back to him, showing him all jacked up from getting beamed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's probably lucky to even be awake at that point.
Oh, he's got a concussion minimum.
Oh, his head. Oh my God, yeah, JT, and his head would be split wide open.
Yeah. So, scrolling down through this just a hair. They start talking together. I don't know where the Joker went in this little section, because they hold a whole conversation. You're the president, the head of the Air Hockey League, and your nickname is Red. Therefore, the AHL is a red-headed league. And Wilson here says, well, that's a Sherlock Holmes story, the Red-Headed League. I read it when I was a kid.
Well, I thought it would have been kind of funny. Let me scroll back up just a little bit. That he's saying things like, who could have foreseen such a diabolically clever trap? And Red could have said, aren't you freaking Sherlock Holmes? You know what I mean? They just miss opportunities like that. If you catch my drift.
I get it. Yeah.
Sorry, but it wasn't a good one. Huh? No, tough crowd. Yeah. So the did you catch on to this red-headed league thing?
Yes, I did. I
did not. So it's like
it just depends how recently you've read Sherlock Holmes. If you read that story and you remember the story, then you would have made the connection probably a couple pages ago.
Well, okay. Oh, they're just tying.
If you're not that familiar with Sherlock Holmes, you wouldn't have put it all together before.
I get it.
They told you. Yeah.
I read it when I was a kid. Okay, now I get it. All right. Yeah, and Phantom was talking about the net. They could have gone fishing with the net. They were sitting in the pond.
So they scared him off. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, Doc's out of action. Red's just standing there.
Sherlock Holmes was in a net, but they run away.
And they run away. But there's a reason. Do you see? You mentioned it earlier. You nailed it. Completely nailed how they do it. If he's running away for no reason, why would he do that? I'm testing you here.
Oh, they're going somewhere.
Yeah, that one most definitely. But look what he's holding.
I mean,
Joker.
Look what he's holding. He's holding the flag.
He's holding a flag.
The pin. Yeah, he's holding the pin.
Yeah, which you don't see. I'm scrolling up really fast. Sorry, chat. I'm just wanted to backtrack a little to see if he already had it. He did not. So yeah, he grabbed one of the pins and took off running. And you and I are kind of like, why? What's going on? Why are they running? I mean, everybody. I don't know, but there's a reason. And Clive, aka Sherlock Holmes, is like, well, I know where they're going to be next. And of course, Doc's like, how? I mean, it's for real, dude. Come on. JT, what do you think about that?
Yeah. We'll go with it.
Good
I have
answer.
to do one incontrovertible fact. Reason it out for yourself. You know my methods, Watson. And the stagehand's like, I do?
Yeah, I do? I just met you, man.
And I love the name of this portable, this mobile home, or I guess whatever you want to call it, touring van, camper. The Joker's mobile ho home, but there's not any hose in it, so I don't know why it's called the ho home.
I know, right? It would have been funny if they had.
But they're going back to the Hacienda.
Yeah, and then here we go, and Joker at his motor coach with everybody in the world, and the police saying, "This is mine. I got my face on the side of it, and I can just drive around freely through the whole countryside and not get pulled over."
Yep,
you just go with it.
So we got the pin and the flag from the fourth green, which the sign of the 4 is the title of an early Sherlock Holmes novel.
Yeah, that's why they were there the whole time. So Clive and Doc knew to go to this particular golf course, to go to that particular hole, just because there's a red 4 flag.
Yes.
So they knew. How he knew it was there in the first place, I don't know. You just go with it.
Right. So this is all still confusing. It hasn't been revealed why they're doing any of this. It's just, I'm going to this random golf course and diving in some water because that somehow is going to let me steal the pin off the 4th hole, which is usually not going to have the number 4 on the flag, by the way.
Yeah. And other shoes behind the ball path. I was just reading what Phantom's saying. Yeah.
They might.
Batting cage to archery, but they took away the archery. Yeah. Good thing. Yeah. So JT, the obvious thing for us here, when you talk about not trying to be picky when we do these, but you just mentioned it again. This whole golf course thing is just kind of ridiculous.
It's just there, and we're like, why? What's going on?
Well,
why is Sherlock Holmes there in the first place?
Well, Southpaw and 2 spent the night apparently in the pond with scuba gear. They had actual scuba gear for no reason. So at any point during the day or the night, they could have just walked up, grabbed the pin, and left.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
And Sherlock Holmes would have never known about it.
And he would have never known.
Why would he?
No.
Right. So whatever.
But I'm loving this.
So they're going to the waterfront, even though they were going back to the Hacienda not one page ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're going to the waterfront and on to their next coup. And at that very location, somehow, Sherlock and Watson are there.
Yes, Santi, he was successful. It's just so off the rails that the guys would spend the night. They went out of their way to put those dudes in a pond with scuba gear all night long. And like JT said, pretty much for nothing. Could have just wrote the whole scene with I don't know. It was just weird, really weird, because they could have just walked over and got it. But you're right, Van. He was successful. He got the flag. And JT's right here as well. They're going to the waterfront.
And it's funny because they you see the line there. Do not allow yourself to get too comfortable, my dear Watson. Dire deeds are a doing tonight. Are they dire deeds done dirt cheap?
Totally dirt cheap.
Dire deeds done dirt cheap.
Yeah, that's one hell of a boat right there, man. That's like a cruise line.
Menominee Falls?
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a cruise ship, basically.
Yeah, that's definitely a cruise ship, not some like oil tanker or anything. Oh, and that's right. They're throwing the gala. I forgot. That's right. Okay. So
in honor of Bruce C. Partington. Yeah, ain't he the Hamburger King?
I thought that was Mickey D. MCD.
Or Dave Thomas.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, anyway, because they're like, okay, so some hamburger guy's got enough money for this place, or he rented it anyway.
So they're having a party because he brought over some plans to start building a restaurant, and he's returning from Switzerland with the plans.
Yeah, so how they would know that some dude in Switzerland is a hamburger giant like Dave Thomas, but not in the US, because it says a new hamburger restaurant. So they're not throwing a party because they opened up one damn place. I'm assuming he's making his entrance into the American network and opening up a chain. So he's throwing a party. That's what.
And so then the name of the next thing we deal with, the Bruce Partington plans.
Da, da, da. Is that an actual?
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes.
The adventure of the Bruce Partington plans.
The adventure. Okay. That's why. All right. The adventure of the Bruce Partington plans. I like those old Johnny Dollar episodes. Have you ever heard those, JT?
No.
Over Connie Cleary. What's that? I'm going to pull it up for everybody. If you like that kind of stuff and you want to listen to those old radio shows, I'm going to take a break real quick, pull this up. Hopefully they will show it. I can't think of the damn name, and they're not live right now. So pardon me here. I think it starts with M. I think it's monster movie thing, but they do a lot of different stuff. Erg.
Yeah, we can find it later.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find it later. Anyway, they do like a lot of those old radio shows.
Yeah, or Buddy can put the link in if he has it.
If you can find it. Connie Cleary's on there a lot, and they do a lot of, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Yeah, buddy, I'd love that detective show. And I can't think of this YouTube channel's name, or I'd link it in for everybody. But anywho, sorry about that, JT.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So this is the title given to one of my more instructive cases. Not sure what he means by that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I guess the whole story might have been he was teaching Watson a lot of things, I guess.
So anyway, once again, we don't know if this is the police or the security guard because they're identical.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time believing the police would be watching the gangway on a gala, but okay.
Could be working overtime.
Maybe.
Who knows?
So then Watson threatens Leo by saying he's going to smack him so hard he'll find his teeth in Australia.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell. When did Watson turn so mean? All the guy did was say, "Hey man, it's a private party. You can't come in." And he just turns like excessively violent.
Yeah.
For no reason. Then even Sherlock / Clive is like, "Hey man, chill out." I don't know where that came from, dude, at all. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. It was out of nowhere. Yeah. So then they were like, yeah, we're just going to calm and coolly just kind of whistle on by you, and no one's going to see us. And we're going to go over to this tug. And there's mooring lines tied to the tug, although they're docked. So I don't know why this would be a thing, but
I think maybe this one's
mooring
above
lines should be
them.
tied to the dock, not to the tug.
Yeah, so there's one here to the right that they're not even looking at.
Right.
That one's tied to the dock, and the other ones are tied to the damn tugboat. And we can notice how he says dilapidated as well, like this old beat up.
Yes.
POS.
Do you think they both make it up? Look at the name of the ship.
He Falls.
Yeah. It's Menominee Falls, but they wrote He Falls.
Oh, good catch, JT. Very nice. Very nice, dude.
So they misspelled the name of the ship because it's an N-E-E and they wrote H-E-E. That's not an N. That's clear as day, an H. So they have a little joke in there.
Yes.
Hey, FKHG 2005, welcome back.
Yes, thanks welcome back. Yeah, he is a bit cranky. He's I'm surprised he can even be walk. He should have like a bunch of bandages and a big thing on his head.
Yeah.
But they missed that too. You're right, Phantom. So he falls, and of course Sherlock's lighting up again because he's now a fiend.
He's going to do something strenuous, so he has to have tobacco to do that.
Oh, and they actually did take the mooring line from the dock. You're right, JT.
Yes.
That would have been the smart way to do it, and they did. Okay, so they didn't jump, but why'd they go on the boat?
Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, anyway. Oh, I mean, I know what happens later, but anywho. So he's climbing up this rope. I insert myself into peril. I don't know about peril, dude, but all right. I mean, it's pretty high up. But guess who's already up there?
Tooth. And he's tossing something red.
Yeah. He's already at the top.
A smoke bomb into the midst of the partygoers on the deck of the vessel. So.
Ooh, redhead.
Yep. That's ruining everybody's good time.
Yeah. Is it Joker gas? I thought, is this Joker gas? They're all going to start laughing?
No, it just had a smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb. Oh, disappointing. And yeah, so I guess now they're assuming Joker sees him, Tooth. He's coming back down, but he's like, hey man, you're not Joker.
And no, FKHC says he's been to the real 221B Baker in London. There's a museum there.
Yes, that's awesome. Was it nice?
Very cool.
I mean, was it good? I bet it was. But that was really nice. That'd be cool to go to. So they get into a little bit of an Indiana Jones type of scuffle here, and then they both fall at your service and your downfall, but they both fall off the rope.
Yeah, he mistakes him for the Joker.
Yeah, he's talking out loud, and he thinks it's the Joker, which is kind of
I
funny.
don't know if that name's appropriate, so we'll skip over that.
Yeah, we're skipping that.
He says, I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes, grabs him by the ankle. This guy must have the smallest ankle in the world. Because Sherlock Holmes gets his entire arm or his entire hand around his ankle.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Phantom, it's the Joker. It should be Joker gas, but I don't know if everybody's knowledgeable enough to know if Joker gas was actually a thing yet. I think that was written in later, but I could be sadly mistaken. I don't know when, JT, I just don't know when Joker gas was a thing.
Yeah. That's why it just said a smoke bomb. If the henchman threw it, it doesn't have to be Joker gas. No. He's just trying to ruin the party.
Well, I'm assuming they're going to go steal all their jewels and money or something. That's what I'm.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, something. Sherlock's, guess what he's doing it again for the third time?
I should warn you, old chap. I have some small skill at water polo. And that is not water polo. I'll just point that out.
Yeah. He just socks him. But he's talking trash again. And then, okay, so old Doc's on the dilapidated tugboat, which is still tied up to the ship, even though it's docked. And then, like you pointed out, smartly so, looks like they're having a real marshmallow roast aboard the marshmallow roast. And JT, yeah, man, that's a lot of smoke coming off the top of that tub.
Right.
That is a lot of smoke.
Right.
You would think that somebody on the dock would be, I don't know, wasn't there a
there
security guard?
There would be,
there?
yeah, there was a security guy there. There would be a lot of calamity going on that we don't see.
That's the word of the day.
Footpad said leads me to believe the smoke is but a decoy. The real villainy lies elsewhere.
No shit, Sherlock.
Thank you. I was waiting.
You were waiting?
I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for the right time. No shit, Sherlock. That's what they missed their chance, didn't they? Because guess how much it goes off the rails here. Guess look at the name of the damn.
And there you go, Phantom Outsider. He was wondering about that because of the other names and everything. Yep. He said earlier, so the Swiss theme in the boat name, he's going to guess somehow that's connected to Rickenbacker Falls when they went over the falls. But he also said before that something about the Baskervilles.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I'm just trying to find it, but that was already guessed before. So
yeah, so they just wrote this in. You know, there was no dogs around or anything like that. But
yes, thank you, Phantom Outsider.
Stealing hounds. Yeah, there was no hounds, and I guess there's some really deep thought into what they did here on the tugboat, but basically they just wrote it. They just put it on there, and they just happened to be on the tugboat called the Baskervilles. And this is what gets me. They wrote in here that Sherlock was I confess, even my cognitive powers aren't sorely taxed. And I'm like, imagine how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. Here we go again, JT.
Funny name for a tugboat, ain't it?
No shit, Doc.
The vital
See, that could have been some back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, if I had the money to buy the rights to all this stuff, we the chat and us could rewrite this, and it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. Get the no shit Sherlock, and then he quip right back at him. You think, Doc?
This is kind of the joke, right? Though, because it's like mocking. It's supposed to be lighthearted, right? It's not. It's supposed to be a real mystery. It's supposed to be like the dude got hit on his head, so now like the most obvious of things are making a Sherlock Holmes caper, but not really.
Yeah, the chat gets it. I'm kind of a little more tough on it. This one more than the rest of the whole golf scene. Yeah. Okay, bad. Can move on. You know, just weird Joker stuff. Even the chat is like, it's just weird Joker stuff. Yeah, I get it.
So
then all of a sudden the tugboat's name is the Baskervilles. But why write in that even Sherlock didn't even know? I wouldn't put that in there. Just go with it. I'm even advocating for just go with it.
Yeah.
Which we don't like that much. We just deal with it because that's the comics. But it's a little weird here for me. Just for me.
So yeah, I know what you mean. The Joker is meanwhile under them below decks.
Oh, let me scroll down a little bit.
Yeah,
I was trying to. I thought there was something. I might have missed a joke that the Joker said.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Oh well, there's one in here that I laughed at.
So this, you have Southpaw over here saying, you're cutting this hunk of steel. It's only going to be worth, what's 70 cents nowadays? It's going to be worth about $2.08 as scrap. And then the Joker says, that's your fault, among others, Southpaw, is you'll pay the price for your lack of vision. I mean, an artist's soul.
Yes.
And so we're going to see on the next page, I guess, right? I feel like this is definitely a page turn. Figure out why the hell Joker is taking a blowtorch to
A
door.
dilapidated tugboat.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go with it.
So this is no ordinary hunk of steel. Sailors use this for what they call dogging down the hatches.
Here we go.
It's a dog, and a dog is a hound, and the boat we're on is the Baskervilles. I hold a hound of the Baskervilles, which is the title of Sherlock Holmes' greatest adventure. A line of reasoning worthy of me.
Yes, Phantom. This story seems like it's told by the standard unreliable narrator. I know you don't mean us, but yeah, this was not a well thought out mystery. It is a Joker book, not a Batman book. I thank you for the support. So there's your stealing hounds, JT, Phantom, and everybody else that's still. We have 6 people. Wow, thank you so much. See what I mean? I'm getting a little exasperated with this, but.
It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. And the real mystery is not these characters. The real mystery is how are the writers weaving in Sherlock Holmes into every page, and how are they going to uncover the next title of the next short story of Sherlock Holmes.
Correct.
That is the mystery, not whatever the hell they're doing in this boat.
Which happens to be called Baskervilles. Yes. It has a big ass metal door.
Yes.
That they're only cutting down because it's called a dog. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Dogging down the hatches. Okay. So, okay. So then they're like, oh, the actor again. I'm beginning to think he's the real Sherlock Holmes, says Southpaw. And then Watson, who went like just super aggro almost on the security guard, is just spoiling for a fight like Russell Crowe style.
Oh, and from South Park?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to fight?
Yes.
I remember that.
I'm glad you got the reference.
Oh, yes. I definitely got the reference. Hey, what'd you say to me?
And this is kind of a high-risk maneuver here by Watson, jumping down, because remember, they're like up the steps on the main deck of this tugboat, and they're down below. So he leaves his feet to go down the steps and make contact foot to face with Southpaw, which is probably a deletion move if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and even South Park makes note, because now I'm beginning to think I'm not as bad as I'm thinking, being hard on this, because even South Park says, JT, he just keeps showing up. I'm beginning to think he really is Sherlock Holmes. They had to write that in there for themselves, that he just shows up at these places. And yeah, right. Look at this Batman kick from old Doc. He just would you say launches?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Leaves his feet and everything.
Damn, dude. I didn't really catch. I mean, I read it earlier. I didn't really catch on the
severity. If you go up just a little bit higher, you can see where they're standing in the previous frame right there.
Yeah. I didn't catch. I didn't.
They're a whole level up on the deck, and they're down below.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 7, 8 steps at least. And he, like you said, he leaps. Full front kick. Wow. He's more like Robin than Doc.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what had been funny? Oh, never mind. Anyway, but we're doing rewrite. I'm doing rewrites in my head as I read this again. And so there's old Sherlock just standing there with his upright fisticuffs, pipe smoking, boxing self.
Yes.
I don't know who this henchman is, but he sucks, because he didn't even. I mean, did he even do anything?
This is Blue Eyes.
This is Blue Eyes and his jumper.
Mm-hmm.
His purple jumper.
Yep.
His chartreuse jumper.
Sure.
It's a speed suit. That's all for my Venture Brothers fans. I hope you can appreciate it. Classics comics fighting around the world.
Fighting around the world. Yeah. So then he goes off on this Yoda thing for a page. Where there's evil, it's nature's pleasure to provide a counterbalancing good. And in this singular drama, nature has provided me as the force of good.
Yeah. So they're trying to wrap up the whole thing about Joker
They
just
are.
being
They are.
okay. And I think Doc kind of calms down here. It's weird. He went full on Batman kick-ass mode, and then he's just kind of standing there debating logic. Or
Well, he took care of one guy, and Holmes is taking care of the other.
Yeah. Where's Joker?
Oh, Joker's here.
Oh,
You just got
there
to scroll.
he is.
There he Pish
There he
and
is.
Tosh.
So he throws. Oh, it's okay. So he threw a big tank or something at him.
But I
Looks like
said
a
it in my
weapon.
Midwestern accent. I'm sure it's Pish and Tosh. But I said Pish
Tosh.
and Tosh. Yeah.
He
Anyway,
made a
you're not
fish and
Sherlock
chips.
Holmes. Not.
You're just an actor. As we all are in the play of life. Okay. Oh, there's the joke. All right. Destiny has decreed your downfall. Aided by me, whoever I am. That sounds like something Batman would say in Brave and the Bold animation. He talks like that sometimes when he's talking shit to the bad
Destiny
guys.
has decreed your downfall.
Yeah. It's like it's like a yeah.
Like that.
Then there's your Star Trek reference.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah. But look what Joker says. This is the joke I actually laughed at.
Stick that fancy talk in your nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destiny has decreed your downfall. Stick it in your nose. So that made me laugh. Anywho, the El Joker
reaching the tug's main deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's trying to find a way out. So he just jumps, which is like, isn't the dock right there to the left?
So this is on the other side of the boat. So you had this giant cruise liner ship having a gala. Then you have this dilapidated tugboat right next to it. Then you have a garbage scow, which I'm assuming you're probably going to be able to smell, and have a million birds
and rats
flying over it.
Dock rats, big as your damn leg.
Yeah.
You don't.
I would not park my Dala ship next to this. But he spots a garbage scow, which reminds me of the Trouble with Tribbles episode where the Klingons tell Scotty that I made a mistake. I meant the Enterprise should be hauled away as garbage. Clobby always did that perfect. But
nice. Trouble with Tribbles. Yes, I don't know what all this stuff is.
The scow to the dock by jumping. Well, why couldn't he just jump on the dock from?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
They just go with it. And apparently there's all kinds of trash and stuff on the back of this tugboat. Just big lumps of stuff. I don't know what that is. Garbage?
Yeah, it's garbage on the scow. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean on the bow of the boat as well.
Oh, that who knows?
I don't know
some
which
old
one's
rope.
The front. It looks like the front, the stern, or the aft.
Some great old ropes. Yeah. Who knows?
So Doc's like, "Hey, man, he's getting away." On the contrary, dear chap, I know something special about him. Okay. Oh, so go ahead.
He's got a high pressure water gun.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's gonna. Okay, whatever.
Well, you said it earlier. What was the reason why they're doing all this stuff? Was to segue into what?
the next Sherlock Holmes title.
There you go. Because you're so smart. See, I tell you every week, everybody. See
before we go on to the last page, you might. Are you already there? Oh, damn, you're already there. Well, I was going to say, I was looking at my own copy on the side, and I'm like, water falls. This is where Moriarty and Watson were fighting on the falls, just like Phantom Outsider already said, because of I'm trying to find where he already said something.
Oh wow, June Lockhart is 100. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, I remember Lost in Space. I used to watch that. The robot.
Yeah, Phantom Outsider said so with the Swiss theme in the boat name. I'm going to guess somehow that's connected to the Rickenbacker Falls where Holmes fought Moriarty and they both went over the falls.
Oh, definitely. That's yeah. I mean, they even put it in there. So you were right again. That was just a segue into the Rickenbacker Falls story arc, and then observe that our quarry is falling. in case you still didn't get it, they're just going to tell you. And the face art here is not Joker. Here is did it blast his face off? I couldn't tell. I don't know what's going on there. But I couldn't make this bigger for everybody. Sorry. Yeah, the art there's a little off. Sorry. And then I guess this is just all trash. So it wasn't just a scowl of trash. This is all trash just sitting there by the dock. And man, like you said, JT, next to the posh $80 billion yacht, that's gonna stink. So
oh yeah.
They're not having that goblet there. That's for sure.
So it ends here, and he comes back to his senses all of a sudden. It's simply that whether I'm Sherlock Holmes or Clive Sigerson, the Joker is Professor Marty, and Holmes can always tell where he is.
Yeah, Doc sets it up with him.
Simple case of identity, Watson. The last one that they're going to put here is in the very last one. Case of Identity is another title.
Another title. Yeah, that's why they put it in. What do you call it? Not italics, but
bold.
And
that's the end.
Yeah, and there you go. That's that's the end, folks. Ta-da-da.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So Dave, I have to ask you here, how big of a fan of Sherlock Holmes were you, or are you?
I used to watch Basil Rathbone and what's the help me out, everyone. Excuse me, sorry. Doc's actor name back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Hounds of the Baskervilles and all that. I've watched a bunch of his stuff when I was younger.
Okay,
and every now and then I'll catch. I'm a big Sherlock fan. Yeah.
Yeah, you know some. If you read all 55, 56 stories?
No.
Okay.
No. I've only read a couple, and mostly movies, not by the book.
I've read more than half. Admittedly, it's been a long time. But I was looking forward to this because I was like, Sherlock Holmes. And, having read a bunch of them, loving the TNG treatment of Sherlock Holmes with Data for most of it, not all of it, but most of it. I was like, okay, we're going to get a good mystery here. And I thought this door was actually going to come into play with the keys that was on the front cover.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I knew he had to go back to the cover
but they didn't.
It's a disappointment, is it not?
They never went back to the cover. I was like, where the heck did you draw this up just now? Scrolling back up to the top, because we never got that.
Or Harley
I
Quinn.
think your enjoyment of this issue relies totally on if you like Sherlock Holmes or you're familiar with Sherlock Holmes. If you're not, it would not make sense.
No. If you're not a Sherlock fan, I mean, you would know who he is.
Sure.
And I think most of the people here would have seen his movies or definitely know who Sherlock Holmes is just by default of being human.
Yeah, but if you don't know the titles, you would have to go to the library and get the collected works and then find the title or the table of contents or something, right? So that way you could be like, okay. At the very least, if you didn't know. So it makes it a little bit harder to enjoy this comic if you are not over that bar. If you don't clear that bar, I would imagine that this probably was not a very good issue. it would be
Yeah,
all lost on you. You'd be like, what the hell just happened? This was the stupidest bunch of nothing.
I just
But
don't know what
if
the
you
whole,
know, then it's funny, right?
if you know it's, well, as
It
much
makes
as they
sense.
wrote it as trying to be funny,
It
yeah,
made
up to a
sense,
certain
at least.
point.
Yeah.
It makes sense as to what you know what they're trying to do here. And we always say this, how well they do it is a whole nother issue.
Right.
Okay. Just like I mentioned earlier about Battlestar Galactica, you've got a billion stories you can write. Let's just see what they can do with it. The Joker's the same. You got a billion different type of stories. And remember, this is way back in 75. So a lot of the stuff like Joker gas, flying the fish, and all that stuff hasn't even been introduced yet. I just kind of wonder what the thought process was that where am I going with this? What the thought process is to come up with a comic book issue of the Joker and then say, hey, guys, girls, whatever, let's just make this about Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't know if something happened back then in 1975. Maybe he passed away. I didn't look it up. I don't know. I could probably do more stuff with these comic shows, looking that stuff up beforehand, but I like the intrigue. And I like that the chat and you and everybody else chimes in. And
well, it wasn't
it's
that.
very informative.
It wasn't that. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was born in 1859 and he passed in 1930.
30. Okay.
So
I thought it was
there's not really on his birth in passing dates, there's nothing. Maybe it was the anniversary. Oh, copyright issues on some of the stories. This is FKHC 2005. Okay. Maybe,
but you
would.
can put a title. You can put a title on there. You can always say, I read this book. But I get what he's saying. Copyright issues. They couldn't really, but they never dove into any of the details of these stories other than making jokes about how they did it in this comic. Like, especially like this one I put up with Phantom, and Tim had said something earlier. I missed it. They were careful not to dive deep into. There was no dogs for Baskervilles. They only talked the Hound. They tied it into some big ass metal door that would never have been on that tugboat in the first place, unless, like you said, you were waiting for was there gold behind there or something? Was there some artwork? Was it the tugboat was a ruse they were smuggling?
I think
I don't know.
That door was to basically close it to be watertight, so that way maybe you could access the bridge from there, but you got water coming in and you have to have a space where it doesn't go.
Yeah, they made it
that
all
was
about
the only reason that door was there, but on a tugboat, that was not an open ocean tugboat. So why you would ever need that, I don't know. That's not really the point of it. I think the point of it was only to hop from story to story, and how are you going to weave one into the next?
In that kind of sense, that was kind of weak. Do you think that having a big metal door on a dilapidated tugboat that had trash on it?
No, I didn't find that much of an issue with it.
I don't know. For me, it was like, that's how you put the Baskervilles in there. Even Phantom was like, what the hell?
Do you want to give your review, Dave?
Sure. I liked most of it up until about page 6 or 7, the golf course thing.
And just for folks to know, page 6 was where we threw the Batman basketball into the waste bin, and then we have the roller coaster golf cart.
Yeah. So
that was the start of page 6.
That the golf course thing kind of went downhill for me. But he made a bunch of good jokes, like, oh, stick it in your nose. There was a couple laughable, funny lines. I mean, the homage to Doyle is great. They did come up with a lot of stuff. The golf course one, that was weak too for me. I was just like, what? I mean, that's what you came out. I mean, I know it's nitpicking, but I didn't do it. Those guys sat in the pond all day, all night in their clothes. Ruined his duds, man. You know, Southpaw, his sweater there, his turtleneck got all wet, nasty. I mean, come on. That was kind of funny. I mean, it was funny that they were in their clothes, but all of that, because this goes back to some of the things you'd mentioned in other comics we do. They did all of that for the flag. And yes, it is the Joker, but it's kind of a cop out for that scene. I didn't like that scene, the golf course scene at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was okay for most of it, I guess. I mean, it was funny when they were doing the what did the sword play with the golf clubs? That was kind of funny. I'll give it to him on that.
I think
that was okay.
Your issue cool with this might have been fixed with another page, setting that up a little more.
Is that what?
Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, that's probably my problem with the tugboat. I like the fact because they went to the party and they threw the gas in there, and you said it's just to ruin their night. I guess so.
Yeah.
But that's all they did. They weren't even on the boat. It was a ruse to they were breaking into the tugboat for what? I got lost there. I'm kind of dumb sometimes.
Oh yeah. Why go to the Gala ship at all?
They set it up as that's the ruse. That's the distraction. So they're breaking into the tugboat for the door that they have to.
So they don't necessarily need to flow from one to the other, because the point of it was to get the Bruce Partington plans was the point of the Gala. So then once they're done with that ship, what else are we going to do? Well, how are we going to get away from the ship? They throw a smoke bomb up there. So it forces them to fall into the water and climb up onto the next available thing, which is that tugboat, right? So once they're on the tugboat, that launches them towards the next couple titles of other stories.
It's like they wanted
with
to
the
write
Baskervilles and all that.
Yeah, the little fist fight in the water so that Sherlock could say, "Look, I'm good at water polo." It was kind of a setup for that, I guess. I'm okay with that. It just seemed a little. I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? They set that all up for make a dog joke about the door. That's what all it was. That's it. Just like you said, pretty much.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I following you?
Yeah, that was the point of them getting on that boat.
Okay.
Was to get the dog reference in there, and then or the hound reference.
Yeah. And I was like, and so that Tim might have been right. Copy issue, but no dogs in the story. No, they made a reference to Harley Quinn, although I don't know when her first ever appearances in the comics. I don't know if it was before 75 or not. So that was from the cover. But overall, I don't know. I get B-, C+, C+.
Okay.
I'm being a little bit hard on it. I don't know. I thought the storylines on the towboat I wasn't buying it. Just me. I just wasn't digging it, dude. That's all it is. Nothing too hardcore. I mean, other than that, I want to give it a B something. You know how I am about letter grades, everybody. I just rather tell you how it is. For me, I just didn't like the whole tugboat thing at all.
Sure.
It was just just dumb.
I gotcha.
I get it. I get what they were trying to do, JT and everybody. Just go with it type of thing. But for that particular part, nah.
I gotcha. So you gave it a B-, you said?
I'm going to give it a B- because I liked half of it and a couple of the jokes. And I get what they were trying to do. So I'm trying to be too hard on it, but I'm struggling with that B.
Sure.
But I'm just trying not to be a dick.
Give it the score you think it should be.
I give it a C+ for me. I just couldn't dig it. They lost it for me at the end, the golf course, even though I did think the fencing with the golf clubs was great. The rest of it was just dumb. I just didn't like it.
So it's still a far better issue than last week's.
Oh God, yes.
Even if you give it a C+. So
it's a struggle with the B and C there. Yeah, last week was terrible.
Okay. So cool. All right. So I guess for my review on this.
And before you start, look at this this comment here from FKC 2005, that's a very good point there. And I missed something from you, Phantom, in classics as well. I was going to go back. I'm sorry if I missed it. But he's saying that there were 10 stories that weren't in the public domain then. So that's important. Right? You had to be careful. So because you talked about copyright earlier. I just wanted to put that out there before you started in.
So, okay. Cool. So this one, the art is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's the best we've seen. I wouldn't say it's the worst we've seen. It's serviceable at best. I think some of the faces are missing too much detail compared to what we were spoiled with in the first 3 issues. So
we didn't get any really good up close Joker ones,
right?
Like we've seen in the early ones. Sorry.
So what I didn't catch on to until about halfway through was what were they trying to do with the story, and I think that this is going to be lost on people, or they're going to get it. And I don't mean just Sherlock Holmes, but that is a big component of this. The whole point, like we were saying, was to get you from one reference to the next, from one joke to the next.
Yes.
It was not about an actual caper or a tale, or we didn't even figure out what happened to that picture that he took, did we? That just totally by the wayside. Well, so you think it's about this drawing in this picture. It's really not. It's really not. It's about the Joker trying to humiliate the detective by turning the tale or the story back on the detective. And so where the names of these are based on something that Sherlock Holmes has done, the names get reversed based on the mockery that Joker has done. So when you think about this, this is not your turn your brain off light kind of reading that you might expect in a comic book, right? Where the 10 of the pages are just fists back and forth, and I'm going to reveal my plan, and then we're going to have a final battle, and the good guy wins, done with page 15. This was far more roundabout in how they wanted to proceed through the story. And you know what? I actually liked it, but it took me halfway through the comic to realize this. So if I were going to read this again, I'd probably like it a lot more going through it the second time if we're going to talk about every page and not question some of the things that were set up. Now they don't do it perfectly, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually liked it a little bit better the second time around, which is sometimes the opposite for me, as you know well, as you well know.
Oh, yes.
You definitely well know. I only read it beforehand because I'm hosting the show.
Right. So, it isn't perfect. And Dave, I brought this up in your review. I feel like page 6, where they go to the golf course, could have been fixed with an additional page that sets it up a little bit better.
Yeah, and here we are adding pages. Normally we take 4 pages out.
Well, or they cut a couple frames here and there. I don't know. It just starts off so well with the guys dancing on the stage and doing the practical jokes and the realistic stage manager and all that. All of that is great.
Yes.
And the Ha Hacienda part's great. They needed one more page worth of setup, or at least a half a page of setup to explain why the henchmen are in the water and why the Joker is there and why Sherlock Holmes is here. This was woven like a t-shirt together as one story, as the whole t-shirt. And they start off by not weaving one of the sleeves.
Yeah.
It is not a perfect shirt. And then they go and mess up the other sleeve and only make it half as long as it should be by just going to the docks. How did we get there? What's the whole story in this? And it's just too short. It's too brief. If they had just done a little bit more, just one more page divided between these two transitions, I think it would have made so much more sense to the story. that you wouldn't have felt so lost. Because just because I picked up on it maybe halfway through doesn't mean most people are. And by that, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm smarter than the average guy. I just know some of the names of these titles of these Sherlock Holmes stories, right? That's the only way I picked up on it. And Phantom Outsider picked up on it probably quicker than I did. That's all it was. So the rest of this, the jokes and things, they're all fine. They're all fine. They get it done. But I commend them for trying to do a different style of storytelling that, look, it's not going to work if they do it again in another 3, 4, 5 issues. They can't revisit this style. But as a tribute to, they literally meant a tribute to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. There's no debating really their theme. I was just kind of wondering what somebody must just be a fan of, to do a Joker issue. What did Phantom say earlier? This is a Joker,
more like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is damn it. I found that show. It's the late horror show.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm not like irritated with this comic. That's why I tried to go with the B-.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I just thought it was just weak at points, but that's just me.
But think about it, Dave. All these other stories we've gotten to the end. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them we've gotten to. And when we get to the end, we're like, that's it? You left us on a cliffhanger. Where was this going? I wanted another 5 pages. When are you going to pick this up next week?
Yeah, but it didn't matter. You
it didn't matter.
Great.
It didn't matter.
It's all tied into just everything is just tied into the show. Everything else is just filler.
And here it doesn't matter either. It's just less consequential to your mind that it doesn't matter either. But they arrived at the same place. They always do.
Yeah.
At the very end.
For Buddy and everybody, there's the link for that Johnny Dollar. They do a lot of different things. He hosts some quiz shows every now and then. He'll do a sci-fi, an old school sci-fi shows as well. Drama ones, horror stories. It's called Late Horror Show, but they do a ton of that Johnny Dollar, and it's great. If you've never listened to that, JT, if you want to just put something on and listen to an old radio show or whatever you're doing, if they're doing the Johnny Dollar ones, they're fantastic. And the old school commercials, they're funny, dude. I'm talking, I don't even know how old this stuff is, 40s,
sure.
50s. Those
the commercials in the middle of the show. Yeah.
Commercials in the commercials are funny, man. But there's the link for it for anybody. Go check them out, subscribe. They're pretty cool over there. So what's your letter? What's your letter?
Yeah. So, before I give the letter, I just wanted to go back to what I was thinking when I saw this issue initially. And I was thinking when I saw this, Sherlock Holmes is going to be pursuing the Joker. And I wanted to see like a mystery or a caper, like a serious kind of pursuit. Even though we knew there was going to be jokes, I wanted to see some high stakes and maybe the Joker being on the back foot. He was never on the back foot even once. No. He was playing with this guy the whole time. So that plays in more to the way the Joker always is in this series. So I'll give it, that they gave consistency to that. But I did not get what I thought we were going to get, but I liked it anyway. So, given that I said there were some things that weren't perfect, needed more explanation, I'm going to give this one a B+, a high B+.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's just me. Everybody has their own opinion. That's the good and the bad about doing these reviews, JT.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You don't want to be too hard on these things, except for BSG 14. You can go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Then,
yeah.
The last issue here was pretty bad. And I didn't even touch on the art too much, right? Just mentioned it a couple times. It didn't.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? How I didn't get too upset about this one. I like the fact that they did this whole homage. I just didn't buy into it. Some of it. Even though some of it was the go stick it up your nose with the fancy talk. I laughed out loud. I was like, oh my God, that's great. And you nailed it. The first couple pages are great. The dancing, we're gonna dance our way off stage with the henchmen.
That was awesome. Fun. I mean, stuff like that,
Yeah, we've gotten.
You need to see some of that kind of stuff.
Well, they've got to be good at writing and be funny, or the whole thing would be crap.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say the writers
got to be good at what you do.
Yeah, you cannot make a claim that the writers had no creativity or that they didn't know how to do some of this stuff well. They certainly did. Whether it was the right decision.
Denny O'Neil. Denny O'Neil, and it was clear to me that he was just doing his best to write a lot of this stuff, like you said. Mm-hmm. That's what they gave him. This was the direction they wanted him to take. He's not Jack Kirby, like you writing art and editor, right? So
it's not something that he stupidly whipped up in an afternoon in one draft and said, let's do it either.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I think they might have thought about it a couple days, which actually is probably why I was.
I think he probably put some more work into it than that. He probably visited this 3, 4, 5, 6 times because, he took enough attention to detail writing it where he said, what's an old English way to say this instead of saying clobber? Or beat him up. Yeah. He'll come up with those terms that just add that much more to it.
And what's the one that we used earlier that I didn't know what it was? Koch, Koch, C-O.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Koch him.
Koch
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I have no clue what that. I mean, I get the reference.
Forgive us for those with a British accent. We are not going to say it the same way.
Oh, yeah, I'm not even trying. I'd do it in Irish. Koch. The caution. So anyway, all right. Well, we've hit an hour and 48, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. But in the comics, I hear they are trying or they're planning to do a Highlander remake. Have you heard about this?
No. There's already a Highlander movie.
Yes, but this is what they're going to do. And I saw on the old Xer there, a lot of people supporting it. And I'm like, you're only supporting it. And don't get mad at me, everybody, and unsubscribe. It's just saying, I'm a big Highlander, Sean Connery, Clancy. I mean, go on and on. Queen soundtrack. What's his name? The head guy. Jeez, I can't even think Highlander's name right now. You see how I can do, JT? I can name two of the 3 guys in the soundtrack, but not the main dude. And I like that guy. He fit that role so well. The main guy in Highlander. What they're doing is they're going to go with star power on this, JT. Mark Hamill. No, sorry. Jesus Christ, not Mark Hamill. Mark
Hamill.
Not Mark Hamill. Cable.
Okay.
Jeez, why the hell would I come up with Mark Hamill? No. So what I meant star power, I meant real star power. Superman.
Ouch.
Superman is doing not Mark Hamill, Mark Cable is going to be the head guy. And I'm like, okay, that's going to draw people to the seats, but not me. I don't even, let me look this up. And they're supposed to be doing another remake of something else. And I figured I'm not going to write it down because I don't want to go off on a tangent about that. Oh yeah, Russell Crowe. He's chubby, out of shape, man. He better get on the treadmill or something, or wear the big Spanish stuff. Oh, he played the Spaniard Gladiator. Don't go there. Gladiator was awesome. Do you see what I mean? Though? They're just trying to put star power in it. If Cable needs a paycheck, which I mean, go for it, dude. Russell Crowe probably does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when I first initially said that, JT, your reaction is why? Pretty much. And you didn't say
pretty
why,
much.
but
Yeah.
you're like, why?
Why?
And the thought process for me is they'll probably do way better with some of the writing because you've got 2 male alpha males, correct? But I don't know who's the Kurgan. Does anybody know who the Kurgan is? We still got 4 people out there, a couple people listening. Have you guys heard about this? And so it's Russell Crowe, Henry Cavill. That's his name, right? Henry
Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to do the Kurgan? I don't know. So you're not going to replace Clancy. I almost said Tom Clancy. See how I do sometimes. That who played one of the best that church scene in Highlander with Clancy and Lambert. That's his name, Christopher Lambert. You have to say it like that. You know that, right, JT?
I did not.
Yes, you have to say it like that. Christopher Lambert.
Okay. I guess I'm in trouble.
Yeah. You have to say it just like that. And I'm like, no, man, no. But if they come up with somebody that's going to be the Kurgan that I might like, they might actually get me to go see it. And damn, if it sucks, I'm going to have to start doing my own review channel and jump on the bandwagon because Ironheart is getting absolutely roasted. I'm not going to go see it, so I don't know.
Drinker already said it was the worst Marvel thing he's ever seen,
which is insanity because he had Eternals. And when Mark D with a C says that movie sucks badly and that's being nice how he said it.
Yes.
When Mark D with a C comes and tells you the Marvel's Eternals is the worst piece of shit, how bad is Ironheart? Can it be more insufferable? I didn't see Eternals. I'm not going to unless it's a rainy day. And it would only because just to see how bad it is. And I know I'm kind of that kind of guy because I don't have my own channel to do those. But what are the people in the chat thinking? If the only reason to see the Highlander movie is because Cavill's in it, not Russell Crowe. Well, now people are going to get mad that I said that, JT. Because he's playing the Spaniard. Again, it's only because he played the Spaniard in Gladiator.
Yeah.
That's it. These people are insufferable at times. And I'm not mad at Cavill. Take the paycheck, bro. It's going to do well. Maybe. I'm not going to go see it unless it's on cable and I get that 7-day thing that I tell you that I do. I'm doing that right now with AMC.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I can get Shudder and watch some terrible horror movies. Remember, I told you I'm on this thing, everybody, where I'm just like watching horror movies so bad I don't even know the names of the title. A group of people went out to a cabin, JT, and they something bad happened to them, and it was bloody, that kind of thing. Those here we go again. Talk about tropes. Jesus, how many of those movies have been made over the years? A group of friends got together and went out to the camp. And then a supernatural murder happens.
Of course.
My God.
Of course.
Again? Or the couple who are having problems decide to go out into the wilderness to reestablish their marriage, and they meet a supernatural, or some guy shows up on the front, injured dude shows up, and then the shit hits the fan. Right?
Yeah.
Or the 2 ladies who are dating each other, wink, wink, go on a camping trip to resolve their relationship and meet, bad guy. It's just, I'm so tired of it, dude. And I'm thinking if I would have wrote down that they're doing another remake of something, that I just the other day, I was like, I gotta start a YouTube channel and just do nothing, call it Pissy Dave or something. Dave's, we gotta, you and I gotta have to come up with a good channel name. Yes, Classic Comics. Thank you. It's one of these days, like if you're really bored, I know you're very busy, Classic Guys. You've got a lot of stuff going on. that if you just want to do for fun, you guys go on Tubi or do one of these 7-day free subscriptions that pop up every now and then, because you're not going to want to pay to watch these unless you're going to do a channel about it. Then that would be cool. Maybe that's something you and I could do, JT, because I know you do not have a lot of time. In fact, I'm watching the time now, and I'm watching. We're not at 2 hours just yet. Yeah. I try to keep it at 2 hours for JT. Just go back and just watch all these terrible movies. I think I brought it up last week that
you did.
Uncorked. If Uncorked is on there, you got to watch at least the trailer. But anything that's worse than Uncorked is going to be freaking so bad, JT. Just so bad. It makes you want to go watch some of the old stuff, some of the Phantasm or Reanimators. I don't even remember Reanimator. I must watch that 30 years. I don't know how old that is. Stuff like that, JT. And it's kind of fun. I just go through the trailers. Some of the trailers are so funny because they're so bad. I don't watch the movies, but I did this time. I've watched a few. I can't even remember. I don't know. There was one that they literally went
regular Red Letter Media type affair doing that, right?
Yes, Red Letter. Yeah, Reanimator was mid-80s. Yeah, there you go. Mid-80s. That's not too bad. Yeah, I'm talking bad, just so bad that the quality is, JT, you and I could go rent a camera from some movie place and do better.
Sure.
It's so bad. Werewolf stuff, vampire
some of that stuff was created to try to pitch it as an actual real movie for a real studio.
Yeah. The good thing is, and I didn't write it down because I didn't even know I was going to talk about this tonight. I should have known better. I usually just do these comics on the fly because we're focused on the comic. You find a couple of good ones every now and then. And there was one, perfect trope. Guy goes out to meet his dad who's living alone. He's kind of a recluse kind of guy. He's a paranoid type of dude. He's got all kind of conspiracy theories. And now he thinks there's a monster living out in the woods. Okay. I'm like, oh shit, same old, same old. I watched it. And I'm going to tell you, that old dude in that movie is one of the best actors I've seen in a long time. And I'm being serious. I'm being very serious. It's like, well, that guy missed his real calling because he was good. And the movie was actually not too bad. But the actor in that was really good. And then there's a sci-fi movie, alien one called Cosmos. It's actually no alien. I think it's called Cosmo. It's a slow burn. 3 guys. They're looking out into space. They're very, very smart, geeky type dudes. Think of the Big Bang. Those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they go out, they know each other. They go out in a car and they go out into the woods and they're looking for UFOs and stuff like that. They have a lot of equipment and it's a really slow burn, but the ending is a fantastic, good buddy ending, JT. And I'm like, oh, that movie was really, really good. And that's saying a lot coming from me these days. But it was made, let me see, when was this movie made? It's called Cosmo. I hope I'm not boring you here, JT. Just talking pop culture here for a few minutes. Well, I've got you.
Oh, no, I haven't seen any of the movies. So
I wouldn't expect.
I can't really comment on them. So,
well, the one I don't even know the name of. And this one, I wouldn't expect a lot of people. Yeah, it's called Cosmo. It's 2019.
Oh, no, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I got to edit the stage. This one here. See, look, it's got good reviews, 4.2. It's a slow kind of burn buddy film that if you like sci-fi and UFO type stuff, it might not be what you think it is, but if you can deal with these guys, it's not atmospheric, artsy, slow burn type. I hate those fucking movies. But this one is just, I'm saying, they spent a lot of time just talking. Right. Mm-hmm. That's mm-hmm. basically the whole movie until the end. And the end is fantastic, dude. Great payoff. If you like those kind of movies and you're a sci-fi guy, you'll love it. Especially if you guys are in astronomy, And if you have any kind of interest in that kind of stuff, you'll really like it. But anyway, anything you got going on, JT? Get you out of here?
Well, I am trying to get something last minute set up with Dadman Walking 55. We'll see what ends up happening. We both have busy lives and work schedules and, personal commitments we got to do. And we'd love to do a show together. So maybe we'll get one soon in the rest of the week here. But the next thing that I have planned for certain will be Friday night, late night Fortnite, Mark D with the C. And then Saturday, I have Saving Star Trek on the Great Admiral Teague's channel, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Nice. Very nice. And what show are you doing? Are you sticking with?
We're moving through. We're moving around. The thing is, when we do all that stuff, for folks that haven't seen it yet, we do a Cosmic watch party after about maybe 45 minutes Trek talk at the beginning, getting in, getting settled down, getting your popcorn made, that kind of thing. We'll actually watch the episodes, so don't worry about doing homework beforehand. I think Admiral Teague has made the decision on which one from season 3 we're watching next, but I do not know off the top of my head. I need to send him a subspace message for that. So there was some debate between 2 different episodes. That's why, of which I've seen both. So don't worry about it. If you'd like to join us, we would love to have you over there.
Awesome.
So, yeah. What about you, Dave?
Nice. Well, I was going to say, hey, buddy, or any wrenches, you want to link anybody that we know? Obviously, I trust you guys to link decent stuff. And I'm not whether I like it or not, whether you like it. If you like it, feel free anytime. Like for Dadman, buddy, you don't need my permission or JT's permission. We trust you, Tim. Like I said, if it's anything decent, people we know, something cool like the Late Horror Show, stuff like that, you're feel free. And for me, same. I've got tomorrow, and against Kawinky Dink, I have a movie that we're doing, Alien, the original Alien. Hadn't seen it in a while, believe it or not. As you guys know, I've shown you all my toys before. JT, you've seen them. My Alien Queen, my Xenomorph,
some
my
cool
Predator.
Stuff. Some really
I didn't
cool
see
stuff.
my poster, my Alien, my Xenomorph poster.
Did you show it to me or no? I can't remember.
It's wrapped up. I still have that wrapped up from when I went to Ireland back in October and November because of the hurricane. That level 5 was coming at us. When I got out of town, But I think if you remember it, everybody, I had to repack my whole apartment like I was moving. Pretty much anything that wasn't in the cabinets, like dishes, dish cooks, pans and stuff like that. Cookware, I meant to say cooks, not cooks, but that kind of stuff that I could put in the cabinets.
Yeah.
I had to, I went and bought like 5 or 6 shower curtains, boxed up all my good stuff here, bought tubs, and then I had to put the tubs on these tables and up on higher levels. And then I'm on the 2nd floor. I just did that in case the roof leaked. And then I had to cover all that up. And it took me about 2 weeks to unpack all that shit when I got back because I'm lazy. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of lost track of what I was really trying to say there, but Friday Alien, we're doing Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's the anniversary, 46 years.
Oh, nice.
June 22nd. So it's just
amazing how so many of these great movies are hitting 50 years. You're like, really? It's been that long since we've had something like that groundbreaking in a lot of ways. I mean, Lord of the Rings, the Peter Jackson version, and you had The Matrix, and you had some others in there, but so many of them in the 70s and then in the 80s. And they're hitting these like long milestones. And you're like, I can't believe it's been that long ago, right?
Yeah. June 22nd, 1979. So I missed it. I missed the anniversary date by 2 days, but I do the movies on Thursday. So I thought, let's do that one because it actually uploaded. So I know Mrs. Dadman was having problems uploading. And then I think Alien or Aliens 2 uploaded on commentary. So JT, I do it on Cosme and it works. Again, I don't know how anybody can explain that to me. I guess I mean it's on my computer. If I want to watch
I don't know.
Yeah, so Mrs. Thadman was having problems uploading and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I can't explain half this crap that happens to my movies. One will be in Spanish, but you play it on Cosme and it plays in English. And in fact, I was going to do Cowboy Bebop for all my Cowboy Bebop people out there. The movie, and I have a trailer for it on my regular, on
There's got to be an audio out default channel that you have set to being something on your local machine somehow. And then the audio out to your Cosme room has to be the audio channel 1, like every time, right? Like that's how it has to be working. I just don't know how you have the other audio channel doing that. There's something funny going on in your computer.
It's insane. It's insane.
And you got to try to get it to another computer and watch it there and just see how it goes. Anyway, I know folks don't really care about it.
No, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because I did the Cowboy Bebop and it upload. So here's the thing: I'll play it on my player because my laptop doesn't have a DD player, so I'll play it even though my Blu-rays don't work. So it's a piece of shit anyway. I need to go out and buy a new one. But it's software because if I like Blazing Saddles, I'm going to do that soon too. But I'm going to do Alien and Aliens 2 next week. And then probably Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
I can watch that.
Also a great movie.
Yeah, if I press play, it plays in English. So if I have it in my thing right now, I've got Aliens because I uploaded that. But if I want to watch it, I'll just press play if it's on my laptop. And it's in English. Or it's not in commentary mode. You have to go onto the menu and press commentary. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I could. I can't share. I can't even share my screen. Never mind. I was going to show it to you now. I'm sure you believe me because for a while there was a bunch of movies I just telling people I can't. They don't work. It's in commentary, and it was only by accident that I pressed play on one of them on Cosme, and I was like, wait a second, Princess Bride uploaded in Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, Aliens or Alien uploaded in commentary with Ridley Scott. And I said, well, that's kind of nice, but. Yeah, I see that. And then, and your other link as well. But I played on Cosme and it works. It plays the movie. So go fucking figure. I don't know. But let's get you out. It's baffling. It's baffling. It's the software. It's the software. But Cosme will pull the root. I guess that's the root, right? The root command, like you said, audio. Out of the movie, even though it's not on my damn laptop like that. That's the mystery.
Right.
And hopefully I'll be there Friday night with Mark D and C, usually around anywhere between 11 and midnight Eastern. And then, although I haven't been there last couple of weeks, Sunday night, usually around 10. He started a little bit later this week. His geekery show, which is really good. I like it. I just missed. I just haven't. My weekends have been weird, so I haven't been around on the Sunday nights. But maybe I can make it this week. So, anything else from the chat, everybody? I hope you had a good time. I'm going to thank Classic Comics, Buddy Hepburn, FKHC 2005, Dadman popped in, and I linked Dadman's show if you guys want to go over there because we're rolling out. Phantom Outsider. Lady V popped in. Anybody else? JT, did I miss? I don't think
Classic Comics, DJ Play Nice.
DJ Play Nice. Yes, that's one. There's always one. There's always one I miss every damn week. Yes, DJ Play Nice with the mystery of the dots on his name. We're going to figure that out.
You got the Dadman, right?
Yeah, I did Dadman. I linked his channel again.
Cool.
If anybody wants to go,
I think we're good. And thank you to everybody that listens on the rewatch or on the rewind, whatever you would like to call that. That doesn't
please rewind.
Yeah, that's when you listen and it's not live. We still love that too. We know there's a lot of you out there. The views seem to rack up for quite a while after the show. So
and
we
JT,
love y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
I remember cassettes. Right,
Yep.
I had an 8-track. That's how old I am.
Oh, you got a rewinder there.
Cassettes where the tape would come out and you had to use this little bad boy right here.
Yeah.
Stick it in the cogs.
Yep.
And very carefully.
Yes.
That's only if it came out of your thing when you had the whole string.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
if you didn't already wreck the tape. Yeah.
If you didn't already.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, everybody have a great night and see you soon.